So this case started back in February 8th of 2010. 10 students from various UC schools stood up individually and made individual statements of protest against the Israeli ambassador Michael Oren. Their statements did not contain profanity, they did not contain any quote-unquote fighting words, and they were merely expressions of dissent. Now, after these individual students made their respective statements, they attempted to walk out, but were each arrested and cited. And in fact, many of them walked directly to the police and turned themselves in.
The 11 students had decided that they wanted to do something to kind of express their disagreement, I guess, with Ambassador Michael Oren. So Michael Oren is the Israeli ambassador to the United States, and he's a former IDF soldier. IDF is the Israeli Defense Forces, and he had taken part in the wars in Lebanon.
You know, when we look at what happened on that day with these 11 students, and we compare it to the actions of other peaceful demonstrators at other college campuses and other peaceful demonstrators who have also heckled, disrupted, protested Ambassador Oren in the past year and a half, those students were simply escorted from the room. End of story.
He became the spokesperson for Israel to kind of rebrand their efforts after the Gaza massacre in 2009. So basically what happened was Israel in 2009 had massacred like tons of people in Gaza, and what had happened was the international community had come out against them.
Whether you agree or disagree with the extent of the tactic is irrelevant at this point, because really it is about free speech. These young people decided to stand up and express their view. And by the way, the ambassador has the same right to free speech, and no one denied him that. I mean, he chose immorally to represent a government that is engaged in war crimes, and he had no problem representing that and getting paid for it. I mean, he himself is a war criminal. That is his right to stand up and speak. Students have the right to stand up and say, you are a war criminal. Everybody was happy, well, I guess not everybody. And everybody had their chance to say what they had to say. It is more important than free speech is the issue of courage. The courage to stand for your principles, and it's extremely important to recognize these young students. These young students did what many people, including governments, including public officials, don't dare to do. Many of our elected officials don't dare to do.
First of all, I want to say Jazakumullah khairan to everyone. I want to commend everyone for coming through tonight, and as well as the panel. I want to say mad respect. I wanted to actually, I know we have a good number of the Irvine 11 here, and I wanted to ask them really quickly if we can have them, can you line up or stand up? For every one of us, you guys have been an inspiration to us, not just to us here, but to those people, and again, in other communities.
I think because I personally was involved and I'm able to see what the goals are for the individuals involved, I understand that they're not trying to be violent, they're not trying to be terrorists, you know, they're not trying to do anything like that. They're trying to do is they're trying to reclaim their narrative and define for themselves what it means to be an American, a Muslim American.
When you walk away from this program with something is, for those that are truly going to stand with them, let us stand truly with them. So let's have everyone stand up. That's saying that we are truly going to stand with this group of people. And that's the first step, but that's actually not the key. That the more difficult one is what we're really asking. And I think as we're leaving here today, and this is the thing that we have to leave with, is really that we're going to march. We're going to march beside them.